So, you're going to be coming here for the 4th as well, I hear. I heard that from Max, but there has to be some kind of a miscommunication here, right? Good evening, Irene. There was no miscommunication there, but why would you think that? Well, this time it's just going to be the family coming out here. Why would Max be bringing a stranger along with him to our family gathering? Don't you find that a little strange of him to think he'd need to do that? Irene, I already know about how you hate me incredibly for no real reason besides just hate. But I've been married to Max for 3 years now, so can you please give all of that up? And I have been coming to your guys' house for the past 2 years for the 4th of July. You can call me a stranger all you want, but I'm still a part of your family, whether you like it or not. What? You really think of yourself as part of this family? I don't ever remember thinking of you as being in our family. Is that so? All right then, Irene. But this time I am once again coming there with my husband, so please expect the both of us. We'll be staying for 2 days there. I know you want to be here so that you can get all of the high-end foods we'll be eating, right? You truly are such a sad sight. That is not my reason for coming along this year. That's never been my reason for coming out to your house at all. Something like the 4th has always been a family event for you guys, and I feel it wouldn't look good to make me stay at home during that event while Max goes there. There also happens to be your husband and the rest of the family who would like to see me, so please don't ruin the rest of our fun by making me stay away. You say that like anybody actually wants to see you when you're coming to stay the night in our gorgeous house. There's no way any of my family wants you here besides Max, and that is why you're a stranger to us. You don't even understand how difficult it is for us to set this whole gathering up. Well, if you'd like some help with the preparations, I can come and help. If it's things like cooking or cleaning the house, I can come and take care of all of that for you. That's what I was planning on telling you before you started to text me today. I even said that last year when I came along, but you told me you didn't want my help. I said I didn't want your help because I know you're useless. So stop trying to act like a good wife to this family when you are good for nothing. I have no idea why my son and my husband happen to like you so much when the rest of this family knows better than that. We all know you are a waste of this family's time and that you can never help anyone. Seriously, why does my husband have to be so happy whenever the topic of discussion is you? And it's been 3 years already, yet you have not given birth to any kids. Max and I haven't had any kids yet because we have a time in which we plan to try. So please stay out of something as personal as that is to us. And a wife like you that can't bear any children for her husband's family is a waste of time, yet you still feel as though you can come out to our family gathering on the 4th, all because you feel you can come here and eat all our food that I'll be making. You make me sick, Lucille. I really don't think you should be saying things like that about me. Like I said, I'm aware that you hate me and don't want anything to do with me, but we only ever have to do something like this twice a year, so please just act nice and I'll reciprocate that feeling as well. And I'll keep saying this to you because I should, and that's that I'll help you with anything you need. So if you have anything for me to do, please let me know. There is nothing a useless wife like yourself can do, though. Now, if you really, really want to come out to my house that badly, then come right over. But you will learn to regret making that choice this time, so I'd give up on this if I were you. Please don't say anything scary like that to me, all right? I still plan on coming with Max. I really want to just be calm around one another and get this whole 4th of July over with. Therefore, would you please play nicely with me just for those 2 days? I have to get going now, Irene.
Did something happen between you and my mom today?
Well, what happened today is your mom made it very clear to me that she doesn't want me coming with you to your parents' house.
So that's what's going on now.
Did she bring anything up with you today?
Well, just a bunch of crap again, but the same old, same old.
She seems to have a rather odd hobby of always talking poorly about me. But I'd really love it if this time she could just play nice with me for a couple of days. I only have to really meet with her twice a year, and I always offer to help her with any preparations she needs to get done.
But I think this time we'll be all right, Lucille. I've talked with her myself this time, and she said she needs to cut it out when it comes to how she harasses you.
I see, but Max, I'm not sure she cares about what you have to say. Your mom really, really hates me with a passion. And I just have this anxiety now where I worry she'll never ever come to even grounds with me being your wife and a part of the family.
But my dad isn't going to give her any more chances if she acts up. My dad knows that my mom has been a pretty terrible person. He can't watch it happen anymore. So I really do believe that this time he will not let her get away with it.
I really do hope that's the case.
You don't have to worry, alright? Also, my mom loves to make herself look good in front of my family, so as long as someone is around you two, she shouldn't act up anymore. This time, a lot of my family will be coming, so you should be in good hands. You can relax and stay by me if you want, so that you feel safe and can eat all you want.
But Max, she told me that she thinks the only reason I'm going back to her place is to eat all her food. After being told that, I don't want to eat anything anymore.
You really do not have to worry yourself this time, Lucille. I've already talked with her once, and she seemed to get the message, so I'm not going to say anything else to her, because that might start annoying her. But no matter what happens there, I'll be around to protect you. My dad and the rest of the family all really appreciate you a ton, and want to make you happy. You can just forget about my mom being a jerk and enjoy the 4th of July.
If you think it's really okay for me to stop thinking about her, then I'll do that. But if she comes up and says anything else to me or treats me in any way that's outright wrong, I'm not going to hold back. I've already had to put up with enough from her, so I'm really at my limit.
And if that happens, I'll be right there with you. So please, relax.
Well, hearing that from you does make me feel a little better. All right, I'll try to focus on not worrying as much about her and instead looking forward to being around the rest of your family. I went and warned you so much, yet you still chose to show up here? So this is what they mean by saying one gets all fired up, because I am fuming right now. Irene, the way you just behaved there was not okay at all. And it was very hurtful towards me doing that. All you did was sit there talking to me about how much you hated me and listed off every single thing you dislike. Then when it came to lunch, you had nothing prepared for me to eat while everyone else got a full plate. Well, of course that's how I'm going to behave with you. You're the one that came into my home again when I never ever wanted you here. So you're telling me you're going to keep treating me this way as long as I'm here? And that you purposefully made sure I didn't have anything to eat for lunch? Huh? Oh, you really are being audacious right now by talking to me like that. You already know my answers, don't you? Had you really wanted something to eat for lunch today, why didn't you come over to me and ask for a plate? Stop acting like I meant everything I did today when you should have communicated with me more. Are you that stupid or something? Wait, what do you mean I should have come to you and asked for a plate? Nobody else was going to you to ask for a plate, so why should I have had to? Because you are not a part of this family. And that means you don't get to have access to the same high-end food the rest of this family gets. But not bringing me any food at all is completely messed up. And what's so bad about that? You seem to have fattened up again, so you need to lose some weight. You didn't need any of that lunch today. Tonight we will be having steaks and lobster. However, all you'll be getting is some ground beef. Are you kidding me, Irene? So you really didn't want me coming to your house today. A fat ass like yourself can have steak sauce for dinner. Irene, I can see you're having a grand time there picking on me, but I'm really reaching my limits with you over here. Can you start thinking about what you're going to say to me before you speak? What are you saying? You're the one who has come to my house and now relies on me to eat and sleep. If you don't like the way I talk to you and the way I treat you, then get the hell out of my house. I would not be bothered by you leaving one bit. And how do you think anyone else here would notice you're gone? Of course not, because nobody cares about a useless wife like you. The rest of the family is all here to eat really good food and watch the fireworks this weekend. Now, you can come and join us for dinner in a little bit, but remember that the only thing you'll be given to eat is some steak sauce that you can lick from the plate. I'm going home. And don't you ever come back here again. I don't need to, because I am literally at my limit and cannot be asked to deal with you anymore. So I'm going to head home now, and you will never have to worry about me again. In other words, I'm cutting ties to you. Go right ahead and do that. And when you say you're cutting ties to us, you also mean you'll cut ties to Max, right? You're getting as far away from my whole family as you can, right? You really think I meant your whole family when I said that? No, I'm only cutting ties to you, Irene. Everyone else will still be able to talk with me. But this will be the end of me sending you guys any more money. What? What money have you been sending us? A lot. And now you will no longer be getting that money from me. I was originally doing it for the sake of your husband because he really needed help. I talked with Max about him and we agreed that we'd be sending him money once a month to help out. However, from here on out, we will no longer be sending you guys a penny. That's how I feel now about just how poorly you've been treating me. What do you keep going on about right now? You are just making up lies about sending us stuff like that money. I'm not sure what amount you think you've been sending us, but I'm sure it's only Max who would be sending it if that's the truth. Each month, $3,000. What? For the past year while I've been married to Max, we've been sending $3,000 each month. You've known about how your husband's company's been going under inch by inch every day. We found out about it as well and tried to do something to help him and his company out of that rut he's been sinking in. What are you talking about? $3,000 a month? And my husband's company has been going under? Maybe it's best that you didn't know anything about everything that's been going on. If you'd like to know, I was sending $2,000 a month and Max has been sending $1,000. Huh? I just got promoted not too long ago, and that means my salary has gone up a reasonable amount, meaning I can afford to give $2,000 each month. Because of that, though, I haven't really been able to save up as much money as I would have liked to. And that slowed down my plans of having kids. What? You're not kidding. So you had no idea about any of this, yet you continued to go on and on with your complaints about me to Max? And you've only made things worse by treating me the way you've been today. I'm fed up with you now, so consider our ties cut. And that is totally fine with me. I'm sure that everything you're saying to me right now is all a stupid joke, but I'm not falling for it. You have to try harder than telling such unbelievable lies as those. You have the right to believe me or not believe me, so go ahead and do whatever you want once I'm gone. But I will not be coming back here after I'm gone, and that will be the end of any money coming into your house. I hope you love living the rest of your life as a moneyless old woman. Bye-bye now. Lucille, do you think you could talk with me for a second? By the way, where are you at right now? Why does it matter to you where I'm at right now? I've already left your house, and I thought I made it very clear to you that our ties have been cut. Lucille, how about you start by calming down first? I think there have been a few misunderstandings between you and I here, so let's work on clearing everything up between one another now. What do you think? What was that? Things have already been made very clear between us now, so there's no need to talk through any of your misunderstandings. Goodbye now. Wait, I'm not just talking about that. I heard a lot of things from both Max and my husband. It seems like I had a lot more misunderstandings of you than I had thought. You really had been sending my house all that money each month, along with my son, with the intent of helping my husband. I made it clear to you earlier today, but you didn't seem to want to believe me. So I'm not sure why you want to talk with me about it now. At the time, I really didn't think any of that could be true, but that's why I'm apologizing to you for all of it now, right? It was just a misunderstanding. Now, if you really do stop sending us money every month, things will really head downhill for my husband's company. That's not a good thing to do, I'm telling you. You'll be ending my husband's and my way of life by doing that. I think you're still mistaken. It's not going to be you and your husband who can't live the life they've been living anymore. It'll just be you who suffers that fate. What? What do you mean by that? Because of all your uncontrolled spending, you have really made a dent in the money your husband has needed. He told you plenty of times that his company needed the money to stay upright, yet you never listened to him and understood. The only person who is really going to be affected by Max and I no longer sending money each month will be you. Uncontrolled spending? I've not been wasting any money like you think I've been. It's just that I didn't know at the time how badly my husband's company had been suffering. And do you know why that is? Because you never listen to anyone else and will only base your decisions off of the delusions you have. This is what you get for being so arrogant and selfish. You do not have to speak to me like that because I get it already. And I have thought about all the wrongs I've done now and want to change. Also, I heard another thing from Max. You are pregnant right now, aren't you, Lucille? And why does that matter to you, Irene? Like I was saying before, I've cut ties to you, so you won't ever get to see my baby or be a part of their life. You being pregnant now matters a lot to me, though. I really do feel bad for the way I've been treating you this whole time. However, you're now going to be giving me a grandchild, so we can be close to one another. All right? And that means you can keep up with that monthly allowance. No, thank you. What? You were already told what's going to happen now by Max, right? We both are completely cutting ties to you, like I already have. So there's no monthly allowance anymore. We might still be willing to send your husband some money, but that will only be going to him and cannot be given to you. You are never going to be getting another cent out of Max and I again. We will also be having our first child soon, so we have to have money for that. Which means we've been planning on stopping the money for a while now. What the heck, Lucille? You think you can just abandon me now because you have a baby coming? Don't you dare tell me you plan on abandoning a poor old woman like myself now. And what if that's exactly what I'm saying? Well, there is something else to that which you didn't mention. We are not abandoning some poor old woman, rather we are just cutting ties to you. Wait, that's the exact same thing as what I'd said. You'll be putting my husband and I at a disadvantage by stopping that money. You think I'd give a damn? Shut up already. What? You were always calling me things like fat and ugly. And then when I came over to your house to enjoy the holidays with the family, you harassed me. And today you went and embarrassed me in front of the whole family. You told me in front of everyone to lick steak sauce off my dinner plate when it came time for dinner. Don't you think it's natural for someone like me to never want anything to do with you again in their life? I'm sure you don't want to deal with me anymore, but I've learned my lesson now. That's why I'm here right now apologizing to you and wish to continue my relationship with you. Well, it's all too late for me to care about what you wish. I want you to know that I really do mean it when I say you will never get to see our baby, and you won't be receiving any more money from us. You won't ever see me again, and you won't be seeing your son anymore either. And thank God for that. Lucille, you really can't go around saying things like that to an old lady with not much time left on this earth like me. Look, I even said that it was a misunderstanding on my part. Stop getting so upset over it. Seems that you weren't expecting things to end up this way, and you're beginning to really freak out now. But I don't care if you've learned your lesson now, because you are far too late. I've cut ties to you, okay? That makes you nothing more than a stranger to me. Actually, you'd been calling me a stranger to you this whole time, right? Did you forget about that? Lucille, I'm very sorry. All that happened was a couple of misunderstandings, so you don't have to take things that far. I'm really looking forward to having a grandchild now, and I would like to continue receiving money from you. Please. Hey, who is it that I'm talking with right now? That's how I think of things right now. I've already talked with my husband about what's happening next, and he said he's on board with me cutting you out of our lives. What? He really said that? Well, I suppose he really was that upset with me earlier, but he's really not going to be cutting ties to me as well, right? Right? He's very serious right now. You know your son better than I do, probably, so you understand that he never jokes around about these things. Which means he's right with me on this one. But he's my son and I'm his mother. Do you really want to take my son away from me like that? Do you have any idea who's to blame for everything that's happening now? If you put a little bit of thought into that, you'd have the answer. Anyway, I'm sure no matter what else I say to you now, you're not going to fully grasp your situation. And no matter what you have to say to me, I'm not budging. I will never, ever want a single thing to do with someone as toxic as you again. No way. How dare my own son want to cut ties to me even? What the hell is wrong with you, woman? Even after all you've been told, you're still going to blame me? That's a little bit more than just ridiculous, I think. Perhaps you've gone completely off the deep end now. Well, you can continue going crazy over there because you have nothing to do with me. And it sounds like you'll have nothing to do with most of your family now, since they all want to leave you as well. Once you've started to feel the pain of being left behind and exiled, you'll realize who's really been to blame for all this. The rest of the family too now? What the hell are all of you saying I did? I was just taking the crap out of my son's back-talking wife for a little bit. Isn't it kind of cute for us to go back and forth like that? Even if you were picking on me little by little, at some point I wasn't going to be able to take it anymore, and this exact same thing would happen. From now on, it would be best that you really put some thought into what you do and say before you act, all right? Well, it's not like you'll be having to worry about upsetting your family anymore since they're all leaving you. So why even bother being careful now? Lucille, would you cut all of that out? Listen to what your damn mother-in-law has to say to you. Do as I say and come back here and talk to everyone about how this is a misunderstanding I had. And don't let Max think things like wanting to cut ties to me ever again. You also let me see your kid when they're born. These are all my demands. Your demands? Who the hell are you? I don't have to listen to a single word you say, so get lost. I'm out of here myself now. This means there's no point in messaging me anymore because I'm muting you now. Please let your husband know I'm still willing to talk with him, though. Now how about you go and lick some steak sauce or something, you old frickin' hag? Because of what my mother-in-law Irene did this time on with everyone around, the whole family was in disbelief. And from now on, she'll no longer be invited to any more of the family gatherings. Max's aunts and uncles all cut ties to her, as did her nieces and nephews, who all told her before the end of the holiday that she needed to get a life outside of picking on pregnant women. By the way, her husband told her that he'd be moving out and living in a separate place from her, and Max cut ties to her as well. Who knows what Irene will really be able to do next now that she's been completely pushed away by everyone. A little while after all of that happened, I gave birth to a happy and healthy baby girl, and her name is Lexi. Max and I both took some time off work to stay home with the baby and relax as much as two brand new parents could. And of course, like I'd been saying to Irene earlier, she'll never be allowed to see my baby. Anyone can see why something like that would be happening now, after all the hell she put me through mentally. Max would later talk with his dad about things like the company's future, and they came to the agreement that his dad would give him the company and would retire. So Max went and quit his job that he had at the time and started to make preparations for everything. Max later went back to his dad's house with him and started to work for him in an attempt to get his company back on the road again before he took over. And along with that, he helped his dad kick Irene out of the house entirely, and who knows where she'll be going now. She's far too old to be doing much about herself, so who's to say she's going to make it far in her older age now anyway? His dad will be selling that house soon and will be using all the money he gets to move away once he's given the company to Max, who will go live closer to his brothers. As for myself, I think I'll start going back to work in another couple of months here, and during that time, Max should be able to be back working from home as a CEO. I'm not sure if that's all going to work out for us just yet, since it depends on what Max and his dad can do for that company right now, but I have a lot of faith in them and look forward to things working out like everyone has planned.
Eliana, how late are you going to be out tonight? You hurry back to this house right now and start making me something to eat. Because you've been out of the house all day, my stomach has been in pain waiting for you to come back and cook. You really are the most useless woman ever, if you're willing to let an older woman starve because you want to be out of the house all the time. I've been acting like your parent this whole time, so come home and show me the respect I deserve. I'm starving.
I'm sorry, Isla. But I'm at the hospital right now, though. I have had to stay here a bit longer than I was expecting, so I won't be home until late tonight. Could you please make something for yourself?
Huh? The hospital? Why are you of all people at the hospital right now?
You're asking me why I'm here? Because just a little while ago, you came at me with a boiling hot cup of tea and threw it on my face. And because of that, my right eye has had a really hard time staying open due to the swelling. The doctor has already had a look at it and said it might be very difficult for me to see out of my right eye for a while after today.
And what does that have to do with me?
What?
I don't care about any of that. Now you get your butt home right now and start making me dinner. You are so stupid. Who do you think you are going to the hospital like that without my permission first anyway? I don't ever remember saying I was okay with you leaving this house. Now you get back here. Now!
I'm sorry, Isla. While texting you, I was asked by the doctor to go with him and have some more exams done on me. He has done everything he can and gave me some medication and wraps to use to help my face and eye. I'm sorry.
It's about time. Making me wait for an hour for a response like that. I can't believe you did all of that without telling me. You really are nothing but trouble, Eliana.
I'm sorry for leaving the house without your permission. But, Isla, why did you come out of nowhere with scalding hot tea and throw it at my face? Tell me, what did I end up doing wrong that required you to do such a thing to me?
You're asking me? Eliana, I threw that tea at your face because you said you were going to that wedding.
What?
You were going on about it being your little sister's wedding or something like that. But that would mean you'd leave this house, you daft idiot. That's why I had to discipline you. You deserve to have your face burned and right eye screwed up.
You can't be serious. That is my sister, my one and only sister, and one of the last members of my family. That's why I wanted to go to her wedding.
Shut your mouth right now. I will not take that kind of talk from a complete stranger like you. I will have you thrown out of this house if you think you can slack off from your chores to be at your little sister's wedding. Now, if you still have any plans to go there, then go right ahead. But you will not be coming back to this house.
Understood. I'm sorry.
Don't you ever show me that kind of poor behavior ever again.
Kate, there's something I'm kind of wanting to ask you right now.
Oh, Eliana. Why are you texting me this late at night?
This has to do with your wedding tomorrow, actually. At the moment, I have a lot of bandaging around my face, covering my right eye. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people asking questions about me, and I might be taking their attention away from you, but would it still be okay for me to attend?
What? Your face is all bandaged up. What happened to you, Eliana? Did you get into a serious accident or something?
I really don't think I could call it an accident, but...
You're lying about that, right? There's no way. That's completely messed up. Nothing about that is normal for someone in your shoes to have to go through. Eliana, how are you normally being treated over at that household?
How am I normally being treated? I like to think this is how things are for me every day.
Are you kidding? So, you're telling me things like sustaining second and third degree burns on your face due to your mother-in-law is a common occurrence there?
Well, I'm sure what happens here isn't right. Actually, this was the first time I'd been hurt this badly by her. Normally, she'd just be pushing me down the stairs or throwing away my cooking and making me start again. There have also been times where she'd lock me in my room for a day or two.
She would lock you in your room for a day or two? None of that is anywhere close to normal, and it's outright dangerous. That is all absolutely screwed up. What you're having to go through. Nothing about that is normal. And what happened to your husband? He's living there with you as well, right? Has he not been saying anything to his mom about how she's treating you?
All he says to me is that things were a lot worse for him when he was younger, so I'm actually being treated pretty nicely by her.
Huh?
Well, I was always a little bit spoiled when I was younger, right? And that can be seen by how useless I am now, right? Well, my mother-in-law stepped in for Mom and Dad and has been raising me the right way by disciplining me.
Wait a second. Are you actually being serious right now, Eliana?
Yes. I'm actually really thankful for what my mother-in-law has done for me. However, she told me that if I go to your wedding tomorrow, she would have me exiled from her house and that I'd never be able to go back there. That's left me feeling a little bit confused now. What should I do now? I'm not feeling good about either choice I have. I can't believe that someone as kind as her would say that she'd have me exiled from her house like that.
Eliana, put yourself together, please.
What?
Look, you and I, for the longest time now, we've both been raised with very different views of things from everyone else, right? I mean, Mom and Dad both beat us a lot when we were younger. And that's why we feel like we were always the bad children, and they were perfectly good parents. We never had the luxury of having loving parents. And we're told that all of our family members outside the house were fake, and just trying to tempt us away from them, right?
Well, they were, and that's why Mom and Dad never let us meet with any of them, because they were too kind.
Well, that was all wrong.
What do you mean?
My husband, when he learned about how much hell I'd been going through at home, he made sure to show me what a true loving family was. Him and his parents both gave me the warmth that my body had been needing from a family all my life. Right now I'm living with my husband's parents, right? Well, they have both done all they could to show me what having real, caring parents is like, and I thank them every day for that. When I come home to them, I scream out that I'm home and they greet me with hugs and kisses. That's the way normal families should be.
There's no way. That can't be true, right?
I'm sure. That's what you want to think, right? All right, I get it. At the moment, you don't want to go home to your family, right?
Not really. Actually, I don't think I can because of what my mother-in-law said.
Then you come to our house. I just spoke with my mother-in-law and she said it was totally okay for you to come here and stay the night with us. She said she'd even get the bath all warmed up and ready, although you might now want to go in if your face is burned.
What?
You're still out and not near your in-laws, right? If you tell me where you're at, I can ask my father-in-law to drive us out to come get you. So please, tell me, Eliana. How long have you been out of this house now without coming back? It's because you've been gone for so long now that the house is a mess. I'll forgive you for not coming home at all and making me my morning early breakfast. If you come home right now, you idiot woman.
I'm no longer going back to that house.
Huh? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
Today, I'll be at my little sister's wedding. Here, I'll be meeting with my real family and enjoying their presence. I even stayed with some of them last night, and that's where I learned what a true family is and how horrible things have been in that toxic environment you call your home.
What are you going on about? I am not here to listen to you go on about your delusions. So get home and start doing the chores right now.
I'm not going back. And since I'm a complete stranger, like you said, there's nothing I'm attached to there anymore.
Huh?
A while back, you threatened to have your son divorce me and even went out to get all the divorce papers filled out and ready to hand into the courthouse, right? Well, I took those from you after that day and have been holding on to them ever since. And just a little bit ago, I went and dropped them off at the courthouse before making my way to this wedding. So I am no longer a part of your family, fair and square.
What did you say?
I no longer am your son's wife, which means that you and I are now legally strangers to one another. I may have spent years taking loads of crap from you guys in that house, but I finally had enough of it last night and will no longer call myself your family. From now on, I'd like for you all to rot in hell there. I'm going to make sure that all those years of pain and torture you all put me through is thrown right back at you.
It's freaking pathetic watching you say things that don't make any sense at all to me. Did you seriously get a divorce from my son? I don't remember ever saying that you leaving my son was okay. I will not let you get away with doing something so selfish as that. Since I've been asking for you to come home all week, you haven't made even a single attempt to. I'm having all your things thrown out of your room right now. All of these lovely photos of you and your little sister together will all be thrown into the trash out back and burned up later. Is that really okay with you, Eliana? I'm sure that would break your heart, wouldn't it? Since you're now aware of what I'm willing to do, get your butt back to this house right now. If not, this is enough to make you understand just how much of a screw-up you've been. Then I'll have to take even more drastic measures.
Go ahead. If you want to toss all my things, be my guest.
Huh? Do you have any idea what I'm saying? These are not just empty threats coming from me.
I don't really care, honestly. It's not like I ever had much to begin with. Also, there are no photos of me and my little sister over at your house.
What?
My family wasn't the best when I was growing up anyway, so I never had many photos of my sister and I taken when we were together. I'm sure the only reason that you're trying to make threats like that towards me now is because you guys are in dire need of a working drone again, right? Well, I'm not going back to that life.
Just get your ass back here right now. The inside of this house is a dang mess, and I will not let it stay this way any longer.
Then how about you get back to it and clean your house up yourself? On another note, the bank will be asking you guys to pay off the rest of the loan here soon, so please do what you can to pay it off.
Huh? A loan? What the hell are you going on about now?
Both that house you all have been living in and that car you guys have been using were bought with loans, right? And my husband had been forcing me to pay off both those loans by myself. He told me that since I was the one working, I should be the one to pay things off in the house.
And that makes total sense to me. Since you were going to continue working after marrying my son, then you should be putting all that money into the house and family.
Yes, and I totally agree with that. Hence why I would put the $2,500 I made each month into the house. Yet that wasn't even enough, so I had to start using up my savings and putting in another $500 every month, making a total of $3,000. But now that I'm a complete stranger to all of you, there's no reason for me to be paying anymore, right? I want for you guys who are still living there and who are still using that car to pay instead of me.
Every month you were putting $3,000 into this house? There's no way we can cover that every month for you. I want to know why you were even having to pay that much. Are you trying to lie to me now in order to make yourself look good?
No, I think you've just forgotten is all. After you went and had the inside of the house completely remodeled and then all brand new furniture placed inside, the price of things went way up. And then you said when getting a new car that you wanted the most expensive SUV they had on the lot, which only made us have to get a bigger loan. Neither the house or that car are mine though, so there's literally no reason for me to have to pay for them anymore. If you're not going to be able to pay off the rest of those loans, then sell the house and the car. That will be your worst case scenario, I'm sure.
I am not screwing around right now. Why do we have to do all of that now? We are not paying for any of this. You are going to be paying for the rest of this house and car whether you like it or not. Eliana, why are you being such a child about all of this? Stop being such an embarrassment and come here, right now, to help us.
Good morning, Isla. And what could you be going on about today?
Don't you play dumb with me. I just got a call from the police explaining to me that I am a suspect in a crime and need to follow up with them. All I did was discipline you, all right? I can't believe that someone your age isn't aware of the most basic things, and I feel so bad for you because of that.
Ah, so that's what you're upset about. Well, that was me who informed the police about what happened.
Well, you tell those police to leave me alone, and then come back here and pay up. You're screwed in the head if you think that I'm a criminal.
Actually, the reason I think you're a criminal is because you are one. And so I had to tell the police about what you'd done.
Huh?
Even if it wasn't as bad as I first thought, you still assaulted me. There have also been cases of abuse within your house, both verbally and physically. Had I not told the police, then I would have never been able to live with the things that have happened to me. Of course, before I was able to live with what you'd done to me because I thought that was all normal. But now I'm very much aware of what happened to me was anything but. So now I'm going to make sure your crimes are handled in a professional and legal way.
You hold it right there. I have not done any of those things to you. Stop trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
Actually, you've done plenty of terrible things to me now, and that's why the police are taking all of this very seriously. All because you seem to think that me working a full-time job wasn't enough, and that I had to be home to take care of all the house as well for you. Then there were times you'd run your mouth about how terrible my cooking was and toss it all. Do you have any idea how much food you've wasted? I put in so much work making food for you and everyone else, yet there were times you wouldn't even try it, instead calling it disgusting before throwing it all away.
It's your fault for making such tasteless food for a household of classy eaters. Honestly, I just thought you were always trying to make food for us with leftovers. You can't call what I did a crime when it was only natural of me to do.
You really think I'm complaining about that alone?
Excuse me?
All those days you'd have guests over, I had to be the one to prepare everything. And if there was ever anything wrong, even if it was the slightest mistake regarding those preparations, you'd start to hit me in the back with a broom close to 100 times. Then there were the days you wouldn't let me eat anything while locking me in a room. Sometimes that would be for a few hours and other times a few days. There were plenty of times I thought I was going to die in that house. But I had no idea what a good family was and thought the way I was being treated was normal at the time. I always thought there was something wrong with me because my parents spoiled me with the idea that everything was my fault.
And you're right to think that because how you've been treated is normal. I've now had to take on the responsibility of disciplining a useless and dumb woman. And that means you have no right to be complaining about any of it.
But the thing is, your house has been anything but normal. When I told my little sisters-in-law all about what's happened there, they were all up in arms. And do you want to know what my sister's husband said? She said that the fact my own husband wouldn't even step in to protect me from you shows that he's messed up as well. He told me that my husband most likely didn't even love me. My sister's husband was furious to learn about what happened. And because of that, I finally realized that my husband wasn't meant for me. Having a family of people who have had nothing to do with me worrying so much finally opened my eyes to what the problems were. Everything that you guys have been doing to me was all criminal and has been dealt with.
What the actual hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. You've been brainwashed by those fools. Brainwashed! You've just been lied to by a family of heathens, and now you're having those strange delusions about what a family should really be.
Don't call my sister and her family heathens.
What?
They gave me a place to stay when I was worried about going back home to you. And they all listened to me and my concerns when I was about to break down and cry. They were all strangers to me who I had never even met before. Yet they were all worried about me and asked me over and over about what happened. This was the first time in my life where I had people around me who showed that they were really upset about what happened and wanted me to feel loved.
I can worry about you too. That's the whole reason I've started to message you like this in the first place.
The only thing you're worried about right now is the fact that you no longer have a slave in the house, right? I have finally been given the gift of love from a group of strangers and will no longer be going back to the place where I was abused. And until you all have paid for the pain you brought me, I am not ending my talks with the police. I'm not some doll that you all can get away with beating up now.
Huh? Don't you talk back to me like that. Especially when you're the most useless and stupid woman to ever walk this earth.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but I am never going to feel scared and saddened about the things you say to me anymore. I'm going to make sure that in order to save everyone else from having to suffer through your guys' hell, that you are all crushed and can no longer get up.
If you think you can do anything to us, then show me. The most a weakling like yourself could possibly do to us is make us laugh. I'll show you, though. I'll make you regret ever baring your teeth like that to me. Hey, stop acting like a child and respond to me right now. What happened to all that power you had yesterday? You've always acted like a coward, so I'm sure there's no more fight left within you now. But I've had enough from you, so be ready for the beating of a lifetime. I'll make sure to discipline you with every bit of my body so that you will never, ever talk back to me ever again. Hello. Sorry for using my older sister's phone. I am her little sister Kate. My sister has had to spend years dealing with abusers and is now sound asleep, finally getting some good sleep at this house. That's why I'll be talking with you right now and letting her sleep in this morning. Huh? So you're going to be taking her place talking to me then, huh? You have the same blood as that useless woman, so I'm sure you're just as pathetic, right? I'm sure whatever you have to say to me means nothing at all. So get your sister to talk to me right now, or I swear I'll... And why should I have to listen to what a criminal wants? I'll make sure to have our lawyer get in touch with you soon, so you can have the much more serious talk with them. And if you're still talking like that, then good luck getting out of this mess you've created. What? What the? You guys have a lawyer now? Well, of course. Eliana needs to make sure she has someone to support her when asking for a settlement from you. And I'll have you know this right now. My sister is not changing her mind on what she wants from you. So I would highly recommend you and your family start working together with a lawyer if you hope to have any chance of lessening your punishments. Wait, just a second. Why are you talking about something like that right now? A lawyer? A settlement? All of that is the kind of stuff you only hear about in dramas. Well, unfortunately, right now we're dealing with a lot of drama, so this has to happen. What you did to my sister was all crimes, and some of those could have very well been considered life-threatening crimes. I think she has every right to have you all pay her a settlement for the damages and ask that the judge sentence you to some time. I'm hoping that she gets away with pulling a massive settlement from you before you go. I'm not taking this from my daughter-in-law. I won't let her take anything from me or send me to prison. And having to pay for a lawyer would be a complete waste of our money. Eliana doesn't even have the money left either, so how is she paying for a lawyer in the first place? If that's what concerns you, just know that my family is paying for her lawyer. What? My husband happens to be a lawyer himself, so he was able to find someone in his firm that could help us at a reduced cost. Actually, the man he's found for Eliana is one of the best lawyers in the city when it comes to things like domestic harassment and assault. Your husband is a lawyer? Yes, which means he is friends with a lot of the police force and has friends who are detectives as well. He's already gotten in touch with one of his detective friends, and they have begun to investigate your family to make sure they have accounts of all the things you've done. We already assumed we'd find lots of things like assault and harassment within your family, based off what Eliana told us. But who knew you guys were also known for theft and scamming? Seems you guys have been on the run from all that too. You guys were able to find out about all of that as well? Of course. But you guys were able to run away before the police or anyone could find you. Until now. So don't be surprised when the police begin to ask about that later as well. And the judge, of course. We've already told the police about it with the evidence we found, so it's only a matter of time before they come to your house. Be prepared to be taken into their custody soon. Wait a second, please. You're only causing my head to spin more and more by saying that. So, can we please discuss this in... We are not discussing anything with you anymore. We don't want to be in close proximity to those that not only assault and harass, but rob and scam people as well. It's time for you to be judged for your crimes, right? And once you've had to pay my sister for everything you've done to her, I believe you and your family will be losing everything. Normally, that would leave you on the streets with nothing at all. But luckily, you'll be in prison after paying, so you will still be fed and housed. If that happens to me, I won't have a life after getting out. I don't care what all we did. You shouldn't be wanting to send us to jail, right? Do something to stop those police. If you let us all fall, then we'll never be able to get back up. After all those years of hurting my sister under your oppression, what makes you think I'm listening to you now? This is what you deserve for your crimes. So take it on the chin like a man and stop being such a problem for everyone. You're nothing more than monsters. I won't let you do any of that crap to anyone ever again. Are you alright, Eliana? I'm glad to hear that your fever has gone down some, but If you want to eat something, please let me know. I can make you something up right now or order something. If you want some ice cream or some jelly, let me know, please.
Thank you, Kate. I'm sorry for leaving everything up to you in the end like that after passing out. I really am so weak.
What are you saying, Eliana? Your body is so beat up right now that I'd want you going to a hospital if I could have my way. When this is all over with, we're taking you to see a doctor, okay? We need to make sure there isn't something worse going on inside you, and that it will all heal with rest and time.
I'm sorry that this has all had to happen right after your wedding.
Stop apologizing to me for everything, okay? Also, this is me paying you back.
What?
The one who had always been protecting me from mom and dad back in the day was you. You also handled things like my college fees and telling mom and dad off when they came looking for me. I know that you've pretty much been doing everything to take care of me.
You knew about all of that?
I'm your little sister, aren't I? Of course I'd find out who was taking care of me like that when it's my own sister. I want to say, you have been working so hard all your life for other people besides yourself. So, from here on out, let me care for you. I'm not your little sister hiding behind your back anymore.
That's very true. I can't believe you grew up so fast without me ever noticing. I'm so happy.
Come on now! Stop talking like you're my mother or something.
I'm sorry. Someday I'm going to have to thank you properly for all of this.
And I'm telling you, you don't have to. All I ask is that you focus on getting better again. You have put up a fight for long enough now, and it's your time to relax. So, from now on, if you're starting to feel unwell or sick, let me know and I'll be there for you. When you passed out like that, I was freaking out.
Sorry about that. I didn't think that I'd be making all of you worry about me like that. I've always been so used to having to care for myself on my own, so when I saw all of you worrying about me, I had no idea what to do.
I'm sure you are still thinking about everything you'll have to do after today. But look, think of the time you have right now as rehabilitation. You don't have to overwork or anything, just as long as you take the time to feel better again.
That's true, actually. I'll think of things like that then.
See? I want you to start right now learning how to relax and let others do things for you. Actually, I want you to tell me right now how you feel about me. You've never said anything about how you think of me before, right? So, give it a try right now.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever spoken out about anyone. Saying this right now is going to be a bit embarrassing. But if I don't say anything, you'll never know, right? So I'll say it. Thank you so much, and I love you a ton, Kate. In the end, everyone in Iris's family was arrested by the police and taken to jail where they all awaited their court hearings. There, I was able to get a settlement from both Iris herself and my ex-husband, which ended up being for more than they had combined in their bank accounts. Iris was also charged with multiple accounts of assault and 2 charges of attempted murder, while the whole family was charged with things like robbery, grand theft auto, and fraud. And just like I had told Iris, they all would end up going to prison to do some time, which is actually lucky for them considering they had to sell their house in order to pay those settlements off, so better there than nowhere at all. I think that my ex and his dad would be getting around 5 years in total, while Iris got 15 years, which at her age is pretty much a wrap. I can definitely say one thing though, and that's that she will never be hurting anyone again, and I'm sure the same can be said for my ex too. My sister was very happy with the end results, and I think her whole family was cheering when that trial and everything was over and finished in my favor. When that was all done, we went out for dinner at a 5-star hotel outside of town, where I got to have my first ever course dinner and have food cooked for me for once. I told everyone that since I'd be getting a lot of money from Iris and them, I'd pay for everyone's dinner. But the moment I brought that up to the family, every single person said no to me in unison, which just goes to show I'm in good hands now. As for myself, I was originally thinking that after my body had healed up and I got most of my sight back in my right eye, I'd leave my sister's family's house. But none of them wanted me leaving their house just yet, and instead chose to have me hired as their part-time housemaid. I am having to do a lot of the chores and cooking I was doing before. However, this time I was being paid to do them, while also being thanked and not having to worry about being hurt in any way. My body still has a ways to go in terms of healing, as my face is still getting some work done on it through grafting and having the wraps replaced. However, the doctor did say that in a few more weeks I could keep them off and start taking showers and things like that again. I also ended up going to see a doctor for a full body exam a week after everything was settled, and there I learned that I had broken one of my ribs at one point, but it was all healed up now and not worth worrying about. I was also told to start taking large amounts of vitamin D since it had been a long time since I last went into the sun and was starting to feel that for sure. All in all, though, my body did end up healing itself together pretty well. And the doctors told me that within a couple of months, I should be feeling 100%, as long as I kept on getting the sleep I needed and resting a lot. Right now, I think I'm feeling the happiest I have ever felt, and it only took me close to 30 years. You frickin' idiot. You and all that annoying talk of yours can go rot in hell. And no matter how much you try and call me, I am never going to answer you. I'm off to have some fun now, so see you in another year. Emma, the only reason I've been calling you so much is because you just took my money and ran off with it. I don't need you to answer any of my calls, but you need to come back and give me my money, please. That is not your money, right? I had that money put aside so that I can pay off some bills I have. Well, you left that money here in my house, so it becomes my money to do whatever I want with. I have no idea why you keep saying such stupid things to me right now. This is all just common sense. Common sense? What are you talking about? You haven't even been living in this house with us anymore. So you coming back into town out of nowhere like that and taking my money off the counter should be considered stealing. That is my money you have right now, so bring it back to me. Come here and hand it back to me right now, please. Don't make me call your father about this, or even worse, the police. What are you talking about? It's because of my dad that you're allowed to live in the house with him and have this money, right? And when it comes to the money that's left lying around in the house, it becomes mine. If you don't like that, then get lost. Even if I wanted to leave this place, right now isn't the best time for me. There are things going on right now here that not even you are aware of. I don't care about your reasons for not leaving because it's not my problem. Anyway, I consider myself very lucky to have come back to my house today and found some money sitting around for me. This is some extra play money for me, so I'm gonna head out shopping now. Would you stop that right now? Your play money? I told you that that is not your money. Do you have any idea what you're about to do right now by running off and spending that money? Come home right now and give that all back to me. You are acting way too far out of line right now. Shut the hell up, you old hag. You're not my frickin' mother. All you are is some old broad that was allowed into this house by my dad. This isn't even your money either, but my dad's, right? Which then means I have the right to spend it on whatever I'd like, right? You have no idea what's going on right now, Emma. But you don't seem to be listening to anything, so I'll go have a word with your father now. I want that money you took from me back as soon as possible. This is my money now, so you're never getting it back, you know. If you don't like me having this money, then next time you shouldn't be leaving money on the counter like that. I really thought you had the common sense to understand that before, but it really does seem that no matter what I try and tell you, you're just not going to listen. You really are just like your father. I've had enough of this, Shane. If you're not going to leave this house and take your thieving daughter along with you, then I'm going to leave instead.
Huh? What's all this about?
You know what's going on here. Your daughter just took my money that was on the counter and ran off with it. That money was something I was going to take with me to the post office today in order to pay some last-minute bills. Both you and her act the same way and seem to do things like that all the time. Can't you see that right now you both are only making things harder for yourselves? I am not going to deal with any of this any longer. Now, your 3 choices here are to tell her to come back to the house and give me my money. You can tell her that you're leaving this house and neither of you will be allowed to come back. Or you can go ahead and do nothing, just like you've always been doing, and I'll leave this house and you both instead.
What? That's just what kids do, Olivia. Why are you getting so upset by that?
What kids do? She is 22 years old now, Shane. She is far too old now to be acting like a 5-year-old. Do you both not see how stealing someone else's money like that is a very bad habit to have? She really took a lot after you, Shane.
You are really being an annoying witch right now. Well, whatever. If you're really going to start saying things like that about her and I, then go ahead and leave.
Really?
I'm tired of how you behave around me. And the fact that you're now talking trash about my own daughter like that is horrible. It's over between you and I for real now. Just get out of the house. And before you go, I want $30,000 from you.
Hold on now. What you just said there makes no sense to me at all. Can you explain to me why I should be giving you $30,000 before I leave this house and family for good? Aren't you aware yet that I'm going to be the one getting the settlement in all of this?
This has nothing to do with the settlement or us breaking up. This has to do with Emma getting married soon.
Is that happening? I never knew about any of this.
And there needs to be some money handed over for her wedding. So as her dad, I'd like to help her out there in making sure she has a wonderful wedding. You can understand how I'm feeling about all this right now, right? Anyway, the only issue here is I don't have any money. So as one final good deed to my daughter and I, would you help me pay for her wedding?
I did that same thing for you back when you needed help paying for her schooling. But here's the thing. Neither of you ever thanked me for all of that money I handed over for her. So why should I have to give you anything else now when I know I will be getting nothing in return for it?
I sure as hell did. Thank you.
Saying thanks is easy to do, Shane. But based off how you've been acting around me, I am far more aware that you aren't thankful. I'm not giving you any more money. But if you'd like to borrow it from me, we can make something work.
What? Are you sure?
But I'll need something in return from you, though. I expect you to pay all that borrowed money back to me at some point, so I'll be preparing some paperwork for you and I to sign. I'm going to get my money back from you this time one way or another, so that I don't have to regret as many things as I've already had to. Hey! Why have you not come here yet? Excuse me? Come to where? What? Frickin' idiot. I get that you're in your 40s now, but you can't already be experiencing symptoms of dementia. Today is the day of my wedding, gosh dang it. What? Is that right? Wait, are you kidding? Cut that BS right now, you old hag. Would you really just cancel last minute on your one and only daughter's wedding like that? If you do that, then you're no longer my mom. Wow, this is the kind of talk I thought I'd never have to relive again. I wonder what ended up happening with you to make you speak to me like that. What are you going on about? Just shut the hell up and come here. Not having my mom here at this wedding would be very screwed up, you idiot. What do you mean by daughter? How much longer do you plan on screwing around with me like that? Cut the bullcrap right now before I get Dad involved. Canceling last minute on your daughter's wedding would land you right in hell. But it seems like that's what you want to have happen, so screw you because I'm cutting ties to you. I've never had a daughter, though. What? The person who should be asking for the other to stop screwing around here is myself. Emma, you're my ex-husband's kid that he brought along with himself when we got married. You have never been my daughter, right? Actually, I had never once thought of you as my daughter before. You're kidding, right? Huh? But weren't you raising me all that time like I was your daughter? The first couple of years I was doing my best in order to make a decent family out of you both. But having to continue to live in that house with a brat like you all that time really brought me a whole lot of stress. And even after you turned 18 and were no longer needing to stick around me in the house, you always tried to cause fights and pick on me. Honestly, I have no idea what to call all of that besides a circus between you and I.
But things were like that because you and I are family, right?
Well, if that's the way you'd like to think of all that, then go ahead and keep thinking that. But to me, that was not at all what a family should be like.
You're saying a lot of crap to me right now, but in terms of the law, you're my mom, right? So how about you come to my dang wedding now? Come here and introduce yourself to my man's parents. At the very least, you can do something like that for me, right?
Wait, what kind of law are you talking about? Your father and I split up, and you are nothing more than a stranger to me again.
What?
And you happen to be an awful little brat, and your dad was a terrible husband and father. I was so happy to get myself away from the both of you. Even now, I like to think that I should never have to talk to either one of you again. So tell me what the hell you're going on about now?
What the heck? Are you trying to say that you both got a divorce or something? When did that happen? I was never told anything about all of that.
This happened a little over 6 months ago, Emma. We've been separated for quite some time now. I really have no idea why your father wouldn't tell you anything about that, especially when it's something that has to do with you both. But that was never going to be something I had to tell you about, right? However, it wasn't like it was a secret that our relationship was going sour.
What? So you both really got divorced then? That means you're no longer my mom.
Yep, but let's be honest here. I was never like your mother to begin with, right? And legally, I'm nothing more than a complete stranger to the both of you now. That's why we should never have to talk to one another like this ever again after today. Having you contact me out of nowhere like this was really a surprise to me. I never had a daughter, and I was never invited to some wedding.
I sent your invitation to the house, though. Of course I'd invite someone like you to my wedding.
The house? Oh, I don't live in that place anymore.
What? You don't even live there anymore?
I told you that the divorce took place half a year ago, and at that time I left the house. I no longer had anything to do with either one of you anymore, so I was out of there. That also means I don't see any of the mail that's sent to that house for me anymore.
So is Dad living on his own now?
Who knows? It's kind of a mystery of whether or not even he is living in that house anymore. He was never going to be able to pay for that house's loan since I was the one paying it off the whole time I lived there.
Huh? Dad wasn't even paying off the loan on the house?
How would he have been able to? He's never had a job this whole time I've been around him.
What? He hasn't had a job?
That's right. Unfortunately, your dad has been unemployed for a long time now. He's just like you are in a sense. All you both ever did was leech off the money I had and never thanked me for any of it. That whole marriage to him was really like an exploitation of me, really.
I never knew anything about that, though.
Well, there you have it, Emma. I never saw that invitation you sent to me, but it's not like I'd be going to your wedding anyway. Also, I happen to have a different last name now, so I'm not sure they would have let me into the wedding anyway.
Why won't you come still? Aren't you being way too cold to me by not accepting my invitation to you? I was your only daughter, your only child ever. So can't you just come to my wedding and see me become happy?
And like I've been saying, you were never like a daughter to me. Just the bratty girl my ex brought along with him. And when I say bratty, I mean you were totally off the walls when it came to how much of a nuisance you were to me. All you are now is some random woman, and I don't care to be around you.
So you're just going to cancel on the wedding then? Is that not heartless to you?
So you're not even listening to me. Do you even understand what the meaning of canceling last minute means? I divorced your dad half a year ago and never was able to get that invitation you sent me. I wouldn't have even planned on going to that wedding of yours anyway had I gotten the invitation. I didn't know it was even taking place today because of all that. There was also never an RSVP from me, right?
So what exactly am I canceling on last minute here? I was never coming to that wedding, so there you go. So you're telling me you never felt as though you were my mom? Like I've been saying for a while now, no. I was never your mother and will continue not to be. So what are you trying to get at here? Perhaps you just wanted me around for the gifts that I might give you? I would never give you any gifts, Emma. I never said anything about wanting you here for any gifts. Let me tell you something else before I go. I would like for you to pay me that $30,000 I let you borrow for that wedding back, please. Huh? What $30,000 did you ever give me for today? I want that money back, please. Nothing else. Now get me that money and shut up about never hearing anything about this, because I know dang well you have an idea of what I'm asking for here. I don't ever remember getting even a penny from you for today, so I'm not handing you any money back. Would you like for me to get the signed papers out? What? Your dad borrowed money from me using your name. Even your signature and everything is on these papers saying you agreed with the transaction. So stop complaining and give me my money back. Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about. You just told me that my dad did all that without my consent, right? I had no idea something like that happened between you two. I never borrowed money from you. Even if you were never told anything about this, you borrowed that money from me. You really don't remember anything from that time? You signed something for your dad a long while ago. I guess there was one time I was told to sign something and I went ahead and signed that. But I didn't know that that was for my dad to borrow money from you. I'm serious about that. You didn't know about that? Well, that's too bad for you. But you went ahead and signed something without ever reading it first, and now you'll have to be responsible for it. That doesn't have anything to do with me, though, as long as I get my money back. The deadline is coming up here now. What are you talking about? I can't hand you $30,000. I never even got that kind of money in the first place. After your dad got this money from me using your name on the paperwork, he went and ran off. I have no clue what he did with that money, and it's not any of my business to know. But from what he told me before the deal took place, he was going to use all that money for your wedding. Understand? Now you're going to have to pay back all of what you borrowed from me. Mom, wait, please. Huh? Don't call me your mom, you little freak. I have never been your mom, and you even agreed with me on that by never once acting as though I was your mom. You can try all you want now to reel me in as your mom, but it's not going to work. You and I are strangers after all. Calling a stranger your mom really gives me the creeps, and my skin is starting to crawl. You can't say things like that about this. After this, you're going to have to start taking care of your idiot father, all right? My dad is not some idiot like you say he is. You're just a complete witch. Weren't you the one that was part of our family for 10 years? In reality, we were only family for 8 years. Those last 2 years were just hell for me. I had to work my butt off for a jobless man that couldn't do anything for the family. He wouldn't even help with the chores or with helping you. All while having you in the house while you made fun of me and caused all sorts of trouble. Stealing my money at times as well. Those last 2 years really were the worst years of my life. Nothing is ever going to top how horribly I felt around you both then. Well, when you put it all like that, I'm sure those last few years were tough for you. I wish I would have divorced your dad a whole lot sooner than I did, to be frank. But at least things are over with now, and I don't regret a single thing about it, really. Come on, this is so hurtful to me. You really think it's okay to say things as hurtful as that about my dad and I? What now? Are you really going to start crying because you think I'm the jerk? I was the one that just lent you $30,000 a while back. And for years and years, I was the one paying for the both of you to live in that house as well as eat and have a shower. I just want my money back from this last deal we made. Is that such a bad thing? I mean, you were the one that signed those papers, so you should be more than aware of what's happening. Are you kidding me? At a time like this, though? I was going to give you a bit more time to pay me back, but then you decided to contact me today.
even though I was never coming to that wedding of yours in the first place. It's your fault for thinking that I'd still come and saying that I was somehow canceling on you last minute.
I really did think you'd be coming today. I mean, normally one would be coming to my wedding. Yet just as I was wanting you to come and enjoy this wedding, you're going to ask for money back? That is screwed up on so many levels. I feel like I've been stabbed in the back by you.
Shut the hell up, you brat. Why are you starting to whine like you're some kind of a victim? The only victim here is myself. I'm the one that gave you both loads of money and have still not gotten anything back in return. Well, I was at least able to get some money in the divorce from your father a little while back, so that's pretty good for me.
You got that divorce in order to get some money back? Well, then what's happened to the money you keep asking me to give you back?
I would like to think that your father took that money and has it right now. Sucks for you then, right? Your father ended up being a lot more scheming than you thought.
Wait, Mom! I really cannot pay you back that amount of money right now. So please, help me out here.
I told you, you are not my frickin' daughter. I have no reason to help you out after the hell you've put me through all these years. Go find a frickin' job and make that money back for me. Goodbye now, you brain-dead brat. What the hell do you want now? I have nothing else to tell you, and unless this is about you giving me that money, I don't want to hear it.
My dad just came to the wedding drunk off his butt, and after causing a scene, he got this whole wedding canceled.
Ah, well, makes sense considering your father's an alcoholic.
What? Are you kidding me?
I'm sure your man was shocked to see your father you were so happy to have come in smelling like the bottom of a vodka bottle, right?
This is not the time to be laughing. Not only is the wedding going to be canceled, but I think my marriage in general is going to be over with. What should I do right now? Do something to help me, Mom.
Mom? Nice one. I really have no idea why you decided to text me again about all that. I have nothing to do with any of you besides needing that money I lent you back. You know, you could have avoided all this had you just been a bit nicer to me. But not even after paying for you to go to college did you thank me. I guess this is what you get for being such a selfish, childish little brat. I did everything I felt I could back in the day, but that never made you into anything more than a total jerk. Now you go join your dad and down a few more bottles of vodka so that you can forget what all happened today.
I didn't know about you paying for me to go to school. What? If I don't get married today, what is going to happen to me? Let me come live with you. I don't want to go back with my dad.
No thanks. I don't like strangers coming inside my home. Goodbye now. You have gotten on one too many of my nerves now, so I'll be blocking you. And about that money, my lawyer will be in touch. In the end, I ended up blocking Emma completely so that she would never be able to annoy me ever again. Emma soon realized this and from then on was never able to get in touch with me again, as I didn't have any other form of communication besides my number. The wedding between her and her man ended up falling apart, and having no chance of going back to live with him anymore, she went back to see her dad at the house. But when she made it home, her dad was nowhere to be found, besides some of his clothing left scattered on the floor in the empty house he was never going to be able to pay for. It's still not known what's ended up happening to her father, but there have been many people saying things about men that have looked like him jumping off of bridges late at night. And other reports saying that they've seen him on the street looking very thin due to malnutrition. To me, however, I unfortunately think a man like him was able to find another woman who would bite, and he's taking advantage of them at the moment while completely lying to them about his past. When we come back to Emma, a few days after going back to that house, she received a call from my lawyer asking her about the $30,000 she owed me, and said that her only option of paying it off would be to take out another loan and use that to pay me back. That's not the ideal option when it comes to paying off the debt she had with me, but there was nothing else she could do, so let's hope she starts paying off the next loan she ends up with. I'm sure things are going to be very, very difficult for Emma from here on out. But this is the life she decided for herself when she chose to take after her father. I like to think this is what she deserves, and I hope she realizes that herself here soon. As for myself, I eventually did end up getting my money from Emma through another loan she had to take out and was free from her completely after that. I'm currently living in a small ranch house by myself, but now that I have some more money, I might take after Emma a little here and call this money my play money.